Yeah, we'll record. We'll just maybe wait 5 minutes for people to hop on.
I think people are just forgetting.
Yeah. On Sundays too, I guess a lot of people are busy.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make a document with all the info.
Yeah, I was thinking about that too. Like
Yeah.
doing like the vendor event tips, and I can do
Yeah.
that too.
Yeah. So I think we can maybe get started, and if people hop on, we'll have time to answer more questions. So I'm Stephanie. I'm Diamond Leader. I joined at work in December 2016, and I'm going to mostly cover Facebook algorithm because I've been studying it a lot. Um, I'm I mostly use social media for work. I I'll do events, I'll do rap parties, but for I'll use mostly for my cold market. I'll use social media over events. So algorithm really has been changing since the beginning. At the beginning, everyone was able to see all our posts. We didn't have that many friends. It started in 2000 and Facebook opened in 2007. So now in 2018, we have maybe 2 to 10% of people seeing our posts, depending on how much we are interacting. So it's really all in our hands. Um, they they try to block us from promoting our businesses on our personal pages. They want us to pay for promoting promotional ads from business pages instead of personal pages because they're like it works. They want us to build relationships before business. So what we do is try to engage with as many people as possible. Um, by doing so, we go out. I'm gonna try to share my screen because I started typing it up. I think it'll make it easier to there you go. Okay. So the first thing we want to do is really get rid of anyone that's on your Facebook that you don't plan on interacting with. So if you have people there for no reason or they're just not interesting people to you, then I would go and delete those people, delete the unanswered request, and anyone who doesn't respond to messages because that lowers your Facebook algorithm. So step two would be get more engagement. So then here is where we start commenting in stories. So we see all the stories at the top, and this works for Facebook and Instagram. We see the stories at the top. We go either comment or we can send an emoji, and this goes directly in their inbox. So they'll get it as a message on Facebook. And I think, yeah, Instagram works like that too now. So by getting messages out there, that's how your engagement really starts going up. And then people start seeing, all these people start seeing a lot more of your posts. Commenting is another thing. So what you want to do is not make it robotic. You don't want to go like, and then Facebook picks up that you're doing it every 3 seconds. So that's when they block you. So what you want to do is really go and you really want to go and love instead of just liking, and comment. Even if it's just emojis, you want to put a little fire, little hearts in the comments. It'll create interaction. Then you have messaging. So what we don't want to do is messaging people with cold messaging. You want to build relationships. So you can go through their profile and go look at what they're posting, see if they have kids, see if they have animals or something that you have in common with them that you could talk about, or if they have their own little business that you want to talk about. But the point is to not be robotic, because that's where Facebook really picks up on what we're doing and blocks people from seeing us. So that's for the engagement part. You want to spend the 90% of the time that you have on Facebook on your messages. So usually what you'll do is go send, or either replying to messages. So let's say you post 1 to 3 times a day. You'll want to, before posting, message people. Take 10 minutes to message people to comment on their posts, and those people are going to see your post. So let's say you post about, well, you don't want to be posting about the products necessarily, but post about something that the business is doing for you, so that people ask questions. After posting, your first 10 minutes is going to determine how successful that post is going to be. So if people start commenting, go reply right away, whether it's with just emojis and or even reply with questions. Questions like that, it creates more interaction in your post, and then when people see that you have 30 comments, but your post was posted 10 minutes ago, they'll go and see the comments and start commenting under that post also. So I think for the algorithm, that was pretty much it. That's mostly what I use for Facebook and Instagram, and I'm learning more. I have videos that I watch every day to learn a little more about how the algorithm changes every 2 months. I take little trainings. I teach my team to do the same, and I'm gonna finish typing up the document on the algorithm and how to bypass everything that keeps blocking people from seeing our posts. And I'll post it in Black Diamonds in Training and in the leadership chat, so that we can all apply it. Other than that, it's really about every day building at least 10 active conversations, because that's what's going to get people to come ask questions about the business eventually. So that's pretty much what I do.
So
yeah.
Steph, are you just like Googling this and getting the information, or is there like a certain website that you're going to that actually has this information?
I can post the website also that I found it. I like that information was a few different courses that I took, webinars that I go on every week. I try to learn a little more, but I could post the one that there's one on tonight. So I could post that also I'll post it right now actually in the chat. And then I could go we can post it in the focus group so everyone can share it with their groups. So yeah.
Okay, cool.
I know you, Robin, work completely differently from the beginning. I was like, you're more hands-on with people.
Yeah. Well, I kind of do both. So I'll introduce myself. I'm Robin Hancock. I've been in It Works almost 3 years. And I do a little of both because I was not, when I started this business, I only had about 200 friends on Facebook. I was not active on Facebook at all, and I wasn't on Instagram at all. So I started doing vendor events, and that's really, I mean, I guess my business is based on a combination of both. Facebook and vendor events. And then now I'm getting more into Instagram. But I just, kind of wanted to share some tips on the vendor events. I think that a lot of us kind of may be intimidated by them a little bit, and you don't really have to be. I don't feel like my first tip is don't feel like you need every product that we have. When I go to a vendor event, I have literally like 2 bags with me. And the one thing that I found is really great is just like for display, like just, keep some of your empty bottles or your, like greens boxes or, whatever you have, whatever products that you use. And you can use those for display. It doesn't have to be anything fancy. I just have basically, it's not even a tablecloth. It's just black fabric that we picked up at the fabric store, and we use that for a tablecloth. And, put some display of products out. You want to obviously have wraps. A lot of times I will do the wraps, our Blitz cards say $25, US anyway. I will do a show special sometimes and do like $20. But yeah, that's the one thing. Don't overpack, don't overthink it. You just want your, catalogs if you have them, some Blitz cards, a dry wrap to show. I usually put out on the table. And then you want to have some kind of raffle or, maybe put a basket together, a product, or even just a wrap or a facial for a drawing, because that's the key to a vendor event isn't necessarily to sell product, it's to gather leads. So you want to have, like something that they can enter, that they have to put their information so that you can follow up with them later. And one thing that I have noticed is it's more, I think, more about quality leads than quantity. I've been to events where we, basically want to get every person that walks by, you get them to enter, but you're going to have those people that don't even want to make eye contact with you as they're walking by, because clearly they're not interested. So when I just say hi to someone, and if they are not stopping, if they're, they keep walking, I am not going to like hound them and say, hey, would you like to enter a drawing? Because clearly they're not interested. So that's the one thing that I have found. I had an event a few weeks ago, and when you have a drawing, like you're going to have one winner, but actually everybody needs to be a winner. So when they get their choice of either like a wrap or a facial, but then, I call every person and I let them know like, hey, you didn't win my grand prize, but you did win, my second prize, which, I gave them a choice of either like 3 packs of greens or 2 keto coffees. So I just pop that, stuff in the mail. Or, you could do wow, just a little something. It's not that expensive, if you just like, I always have like wow and greens on the go on my auto ship, because those are like, kind of inexpensive things that, even you can add those to a Blitz card, just like staple or tape them on there. So that's always a good idea. And people like are genuinely excited, even they didn't win the grand prize, but they're still getting something. And you can just pop that in the mail. And then like a few days later, just, check up on them and see how they liked it. The one thing that's been really good too is to, take the samples of our products. Have the keto coffee there for them to sample. Just get little cups. You can get those like at the party store, really inexpensive. The one thing that I found is you never want to do like the greens on the go or the orange greens. Always mix them with something, because even though like we may like the taste of the products just with water, you're gonna have that one person that's gonna be like, oh, that's disgusting or something like that, and I've had that happen. So the one tip, that like berry greens, I always, mix with lemonade, or like orange greens, mix with orange juice. The keto coffee, I've done it a couple different ways, and I will go back to, I think, doing it like a frappuccino, where I add a little, non-sugar sweetener to it, and just do in like with ice and, cold water. And people seem to be more receptive than when it has been hot. Because I've had people, that have like, you don't want people at your table to like take a sample of something and go, oh, that's so gross. But it does happen. So that's why, like just using these samples and mixing them with something that they know, they're going to, like the taste, is always a plus. I did the chocolate greens in almond milk, and people just loved it. It tastes like chocolate milk. So another way I've been doing the greens myself, the chocolate greens, is in almond milk and then heating it up like for hot chocolate. And then I add the keto creamer. So that's been really good. But I mean, you don't have to take a lot of samples, like just a couple packs of greens on the go, mix them with lemonade. And, if you've got coffee samples, whatever you have, it doesn't have to be really expensive. And I would say don't spend a lot of money. A lot of these events you can find for maybe $25 to $50. There's a lot of them that, like bridal expos and stuff like that, can tend to be more expensive. If you split up the cost with some of your teammates, it's not that bad. I know we did a big one last year. It was like $800, but there was 8 of us, so we split the cost. We decided not to do that one this year just because the leads that we got were not really quality leads. It seemed like everybody just wanted a free product, and that's what they were going for. So they were just like, they weren't interested in finding out what we had to offer. They just wanted to know if we had something free. And I had like a wheel that people could spin to win a prize, and everybody just wanted the water bottles, the free water bottles that I had, So it just kind of varies on what kind of event it is. You can get into different like health and wellness fairs, or, a lot of times there's craft shows with, different vendors. You can also team up with different businesses. We did an event at a nail salon a couple months ago. Yeah, it was in February. And it was really great because we had like goodie bags. So we put in like a little wow sample with a Blitz card. And then we had like, let's see the nail girl gave a paraffin wax treatment. And there was I think it was a Unique. So she did makeup. And then we had, Monate girl. So she did like, they could do hair shampoos. And then we did the greens facial. We offered that free. So we just, added like greens on the go. We did the chocolate because it was kind of geared towards Valentine's Day. And it was just like a spa day for like ladies. And it went really well. I mean, they loved the facial. We just put like a little defining gel, a little coconut oil, and the chocolate greens. And I mean, that makes a great facial that we could offer for free. And they just loved it. So just little things like that. Just if you can get somebody just to do that, just let them know when you're at an event that they can have like a free party, like they can, if they want to invite some people over and you can sample products, it doesn't have to be at a show. It can also be at someone's house. And then, you know, just finding these events, you can check with your local chamber of commerce. That's a good place to start. There are also groups on Facebook that you can find, like the one that's local to me, they have like a Facebook group, Quad City Moms in Business. So they have like different events that they do all the time in the area. You can also do your own, like there's, you know, like if you can find a community center or a church, and then just get with some other people that you know that are in, you know, network marketing or direct sales, like your Scentsy people, your Norwex, you know, Tupperware, whatever it is. You know, I have done these events before, and a lot of times we'll do them in conjunction with some kind of fundraiser. So like if you want to, you know, like have some of your proceeds go to the animal shelter, or just take donations for like an animal shelter, or if someone that, you know, we also did one to help with medical bills on a friend of ours that had a head injury, and she had been in the hospital for a while. So just different things like that to bring people in. And I'm fortunate, my sister has a building, and then I also have one of my distributors that works at a golf course, so she's got the a room at the clubhouse that we've used too. But let's see. And then just follow up is key. You know, that's the whole thing. You know, and sometimes I think people think that the vendor events should be all about like making a bunch of money at that time. And it's really not. It's all about, you know, getting those leads. So if you're spending, you know, $25, you know, for a table, don't be discouraged if you're not selling a bunch of products, because that, you know, like I said, the ultimate goal is to get those leads, and then follow up with them. So if you know, you didn't sell a wrap, but you've got a page full of people to follow up with, I mean, that's a win as far as I'm concerned. So I think, trying to think. Oh, and then we've also, my team has also been doing, like, we picked one like spot, and we're meeting up each week, like just to get like, you know, we'll wear our gear, and even if it's just us, but it's an opportunity where potentials can come, whether they're potential, you know, customers or distributors, and we're just meeting up, you know, our team at a local, like, at a bar and grill. We meet on um, Thursdays from 5:30 to 7. And I just put an event out there every week on Facebook for everybody to know that, you know, anybody can join us. It's no pressure. And that way, you know, we also, I also bring a couple, you know, different samples with us. I've been bringing the ketones, and then like the keto coffee. So that's just another way to get out. It doesn't cost anything, you know, like you usually at the restaurant we go to, we have the same table, and they kind of know we're coming now. And, you know, whether we order just an appetizer, or we end up just, you know, if it's just our team, and we'll just have dinner, and we just kind of, you know, just kind of share what's going on with each one of us, and that kind of thing. So I think that's it. Um, yeah. But yeah, I can put that, you know, just put those tips down in a document too, and share
Yeah,
those.
we can write down pretty much like each one document and share it in the focus group coaches, so
Yeah.
they can share it with the groups. There's just one thing I forgot to mention about posting. Um, Try to post every day at the same time, because people are going to be waiting for your post at one point, because they'll be used to always seeing the same kind of posts, interactive posts, and live videos really bring the views up a lot. Um, Try to not post back to back. Pick your hours. It could be 9, and try to keep it 3 hours in between, 9, 12, 3, or at least 3 hours in between, because then you're competing with yourself on people's time, on people's newsfeed. So I think that's pretty much it. I think we covered pretty much everything we wanted to cover. I know there's not many people because it's the last one and everyone was busy, but
Yeah.
we'll post the recording in the groups, and we'll post the document.
Sounds good.
Sounds good.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.